Hey guys, how you doing? Karen here with my buddy Whiskey Sour, my little mascot. He's being really good. Hope my pup's that good. Doubt it. I read a blog today called "Are You an Easy Target?" Someone had responded to part of the blog. I wrote it the day before yesterday. I think so. How can we simplify the message? That blog. They responded to the one part of it saying, Karen, staying open makes you an easy target. Well, the problem with the statement is I didn't say I was standing out in the open. Let's just clear that up right now. I said I was staying open. It's a big difference. I didn't say I was going to walk out on the highway at rush hour. That would be standing out in the open, and standing out in the open makes you an easy target. This is what happens. You guys will hear me talk about this a lot. Now I'm just finding it funny, but this is what happens when we're used to hooking onto catchphrases in the English language without giving much regard for their meaning or their origin. If a saying is popular enough, like the title of this blog, "Are You an Easy Target?" which I put it that purposely like that, we just go ahead and run with it. It's kind of like me mentioning before, the phrase that I can't stand. If you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. Can't stand that phrase. Sorry, I know a lot of you guys use it out there, and that's awesome, and I'm glad you do stand for something and that you're very passionate about whatever you're passionate about. But it is a regurgitated phrase, let's face it, And the phrase is actually not true. That's the problem I have with it. Not from any viewpoint or belief system that I have, just from an English language standpoint. When you break down, if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. It's not true. It's just cool and catchy. That's it. If I don't stand for something, there could be a million reasons why I don't. It doesn't mean that I'm gonna go ahead and fall for anything that comes my way. It doesn't just hurl you into a gullible state. So catchphrases like that, to me, are designed. I'm not saying you guys use them for this reason. I'm saying they're designed to manipulate and control and keep everyone in the same state of thinking. That's all I'm suggesting. I could be wrong, whatever, but I'm just on my little rant today, so let me go. Are you an easy target? That's another phrase where the statement I was giving, Karen, this guy gave me, Karen, staying open makes you an easy target. That's just something people say to one another. There isn't much thought put into my scenario when he's saying it. They're only thinking about their experience. Or simply just saying something that sounds wise but doesn't actually apply to me. There is absolutely in a phrase like that, there's no thought given to what my scenario is at all. So we have all these sayings, we have all these rules, we have these quotes, we have laws that dictate just about everything. Some are good and some are really questionable. But I try not to, and I do it, but I try really diligently to not generalize anything or anyone by just throwing out a statement at them which just doesn't apply to them. And again, you'll hear me say this, not helpful. So back to this phrase, Karen, staying open makes you an easy target. Well, first of all, it actually doesn't. But in my usual philosophical need to break things down in the hopes of coming to a greater understanding of what somebody's trying to say to me, and being open, let me just run with where I think this person was headed. Now, with the exception of having no regard for what I said in the first place and messing up the original saying by regurgitating something that he heard, I am thinking what he really meant was just staying out in the open. I'm going to that's what I kind of think he said, but I think I just got distracted by the neighbor. There's a guy out here who works on his car who swears at it. You'll just hear him go, "God damn it!" on his car. Sorry, it's something I giggle at every day. I'm thinking what he really meant was staying out in the open, but I'm just going to take his phrase at face value. What I'm essentially going to do is stay open to what he's telling me right now, okay, by doing this, which if it goes horribly wrong, he's going to prove his own phrase to be correct. Staying open makes me an easy target. Okay, let me look at this. I see this as the idea that if I keep my mind free of all stubborn-headed, possibly arrogant indoctrination that I've learned before, and if I keep my eyes open, and if I keep my ears alert, I will somehow be blown to bits by sniper rifles, those sniper rifles from a tall building. This is just all way too funny to me. Now, perhaps this is a person who has been burned before, but has tried to stay open to hearing what people had to say. And so he probably had some scenario where he tried to stay really open and then someone just burned him, you know. So therefore he was issuing me some kind of warning or whatever, and that's so I wouldn't get burned too, possibly. And that was thoughtful. But the thing is, just by simply listening to somebody, I don't believe burns you. And letting someone speak and have their turn also does not burn you. Considering what a person has to say doesn't burn you. Running with someone else's ideas could burn you. But couldn't it also be fun? You just don't know. That's my point. You just don't know. When you're at just the listening, tolerant stage of something, of just being open, that's its own stage. I'm at that stage where I'm just busy listening right now. That's all I'm doing. So I'm not even in the what burns us and what doesn't phase. He's trying to say staying open makes you an easy target. No, staying open just makes you a good listener or makes you tolerant or those things. So this blog he was referring to, this blog that I wrote called How Can We Simplify the Message, where I was saying I was open to hearing someone else's beliefs, but that I don't necessarily agree. I went on to say how I was exploring bits of wisdom from animals. That's what the blog was about. So I don't know how it ended up so serious, but I wasn't jumping into full-on shamanism over here, you know. I was simply exploring and having fun in doing so. And that's kind of how I'm looking at life now. I laugh a lot at life. I'm laughing at this guy. I'm laughing at pretty much everything, and it might be just a really silly phase I'm going through that I gotta get out of, but that's what's going on over here. I believe that when we stay open to what people are saying to us, and this is why I devoted an entire blog, so buddy, before you tell me I'm not open, I'm devoting an entire blog to you. I believe when we stay open to what they're saying, there's really not much of a chance of being a target. This is where I stand like this and put a bullseye on me and see what arrows come flying. You might become a target if you blindly go along with what they say, but then the saying should be, going along blindly with what someone says makes you an easy target. But that's not as catchy, and it's a little bit wordy. What I find staying open does, and let me just clarify this for you, this is two things that it does. It makes you seem cooler than you maybe are, in kind of a Snoopy on the doghouse kind of way, and it can be a lot of fun. Some people do consider themselves an easy target, meaning that they think they are just too soft or too gullible. But I love those traits more than what the opposite of those traits are. The world could stand a bit more softness and lightheartedness, in my opinion. I talk a lot about words that have been hijacked. You'll hear me say this in various blogs. There's so many words out there that people have hijacked, and I'm a big defender of the English language. But what about words that have been lost? Like the word fun. That's a lost word. That's like way back in, it's archaic now at this point, the word fun. Can't we just visit someone else's country and enjoy their culture? That could be fun. People do it all the time. That's why tourism is the way it is. You go into countries and you go and you visit and you party with them at night, and whether you go to Hawaii on the luau or whether you go to Mexico to have a fiesta or wherever you go in the world, you go there to the culture and you have fun. And what I think the problem is, we don't want all the differences that we experienced when we went traveling. We don't want that in our country. We don't want that to come back home with us, and we don't want to hear it here. And that's where I think a lot of the problem is. And that is completely bizarre to me, because above all, we are missing out on the joys of staying open and learning something new and having a fun experience. Back to the word fun, which has been lost. We don't even have to make it our new religion or our new belief system or anything like that. We can simply listen and enjoy. That's what staying open to me means. That's all it is. And boy, oh boy, whatever happened to laughter? There's another archaic word at this point. I could choose to get paranoid about someone thinking I am practicing shamanism over here because I was, talking about some animals in a blog, and just talk all day long about how wrong it is. Or I could just grab the topic and have some fun with it and laugh at the animals and maybe learn something and think about all the wisdom of what's around us. And the whole point is that staying open, you can learn something. And then I can just go and enjoy a cup of tea when I'm done. I don't have to take everything so seriously all the time. And it doesn't have to be so serious. But above all else, I don't ever think I have it all figured out. That's the thing about reverting back to your childhood, is you're back to a learning state. And when you get in touch with your inner child, and when you get silly and you have fun and you laugh at things, I don't think I have it figured out. In fact, I'm probably less smart than I was. So why wouldn't I stay open? Why wouldn't I? Staying open has contributed healthy things to my character. It's made me less grouchy. There, I said it. It's made me way less grouchy. Ever notice how many people get grouchy about their belief system? They're telling you it's the greatest thing in the world, but they're really grouchy about it. And even though I try and stay open to someone grouchy and angry, telling me how awesome their thought processes are, I'm not going to laugh, have fun, or learn as much. That's the truth with me at this stage in my life. I might turn into a really serious, grouchy old bird, I don't know, but I really think staying closed-minded or locked away is not progression. It's not change. It's not all these things that we want. And it's not a progression of our character. First and foremost, it doesn't progress our character anyway. Most people end up depressed. And what kind of lifestyle is that? You just get so serious and so grouchy and just so worried and so concerned, and you regurgitate all these sayings and stuff that keep us indoctrinated and keep everybody in the same way of thinking and manipulate us with control. And, yes, standing out in the open highway at rush hour is not very smart. There's a sense of balance going on. But seriously, did someone think that that's what I was getting at in that blog? When I said everyone should cut each other some slack, I also think everyone should lighten up. Anyway, rant transmission ended. We'll return to our regularly scheduled loving channel momentarily over here. I signed off with a Charles Kettering quote, who, is a very famous inventor in America. And he says, "People are very open-minded about new things, as long as they're exactly like the old ones." So I will leave that with you today. And I will tune in with you guys again tomorrow. A little less ranty, but I just had to address that one. And you know what? I was open-minded because I just devoted a whole blog to that guy. All right, so enough silliness over here. You can't handle how much silliness is going on over here, can you, Whiskey Sour? From Whiskey Sour and me. Till next time, guys. Rock on.